Hello, welcome to a new video. It's a bit different this time. I'm not talking about Trezor One, I'm not talking about the portfolio. I'm talking about starting side projects in general and how to make time for that, because I get asked a lot. Like, you have a full-time job, you have probably friends and some hobbies, and you are doing like two, three side projects, all that stuff. How the hell do you find the time for this? And I wanted to talk a little bit about this and also about balancing it, because I'm doing some mistakes here as well, especially in the last 6 months where Trezor grew in popularity and I basically hustled every free minute on that. So I wanted to share this with you. The first part is you need time to start a side project, right? So you if you look at the hours, this is what I did. You write down 24 hours on a whiteboard or something, all the 24 hours that are in a day, and you fill the hours with what you are doing currently. And you will see that pretty soon a lot of time is spent on consumption, like Netflix, gaming, stuff like this. Reading is probably a good part of consumption, but in general, you have some hours that are not really productive at all. And I did this when I looked at especially the time between, let's say, 8 and 11 p.m. It was basically Netflix or something like this. And also in the morning when I don't know, you get up at 7 and what do you do? Like a lot of people, including me, until a few years ago, you scroll through your social media feeds and stuff like this. So this is pure consumption, doesn't add anything. So these are the first hours to tackle, to change it. So I tackled the hours in the morning, I tackled the hours in the evening, and said, all right, I will limit them, the consumption. Like, I still want to watch my Netflix shows or movies and stuff like this, but I will limit them and dedicate a few hours to productivity for my side projects or what have you, right? Doing a sailing license or sport training, whatever it is, whatever project you want to tackle. So this is actually not that big of a deal to make some more time. I cannot speak for parents because I assume it's a bit different if you have kids. I will know pretty soon and can tell you. But making the time when you have a lot of these consumption activities is actually not that big of a deal. And at the end of the day, the sacrifice is also not that big. So I was a big gamer, especially like a decade ago, and I don't play video games at all right now. Very, very rarely, let's say once in half a year, I'm getting on to an hour or two in the evening to play with some friends, some old school games like Age of Empires 2 or something, but it's not enough. And I do miss it, of course, but on the other side, I have the huge reward of building these products and getting bigger and a little bit more successful with them. So at the end of the day, it's a priority. So replacing consumption time with productivity is the first part and the biggest part to get some time. But there are a few things you should not take away. So again, if you look at the 24 hours, what you spend your time on, there are probably also hours with your family, your kids, your friends, where you are out, and it's also not productive. But it's something you need to, in order, to be happy, to feel good. Maybe it's the training, maybe it's an hour of activity or 2 hours of cooking, or just hanging out with friends and family. So this kind of stuff, don't take it away. This is too important and much more important than a side project. It might be, necessary to have a brief period of time where you reduce this a little bit. But don't make this for a long time. So what I did now in the last 6 months, I started Trezor One, and so these side projects, the YouTube channel, etc. I started this in January 2020, so 6 months ago, and since then I'm basically putting every free minute into it. And I've not seen a lot of friends. I've moved to Hamburg in December, so I've not. Also, there was Corona, so there wasn't a lot of possibility to go out and meet with friends, but either way, this has been neglected. Now I could meet friends a lot more, and I still have put most of my time into these projects. I have not done any workouts or sports. I've eaten much worse. So there was definitely a big downside for me to put so much time in that and ignore everything else basically. And this is something I feel now. It's very difficult for me because I just don't feel good, not fit anymore. Not the healthy eating, so it's more of a physical thing. And this simply like being outside in the park and hanging out with friends in the sun. I haven't done this for so long or so rarely because every time I did nothing, I felt like I'm not productive, you know? So it was on the other side of the extreme and I felt bad for not doing anything. And this is not a good idea because I know, and it's definitely true, that if you get away from the projects a little bit, if you catch yourself browsing through the internet, not being really productive, just being at the computer for the sake, you know, because you want to be productive, but you're not, this is exactly the time where you should be outside. Take a run, chill in the park, talk to friends, have your mind completely off the project. And once you come back, you're much more productive. And this is the same. This is not only true for side projects, but also for your main work in general, for any kind of work or things where you need to concentrate on. So this is definitely something you should not take away. And I'm rebalancing currently. So I said to myself, there is at least 1 hour per day where I have to sweat. And I don't mean sweat sitting here in and just being hot in the sun or something, but actually going out for physical activity, a run, training, whatever it is. Because I know I feel much better. When I do this in the morning, I then sit at the desk. I feel so much better throughout the day. I feel better over time, and I'm getting a bit more sun. I'm getting outside, and the same with friends. So making more time for friends now with the baby coming, making time for family, of course, that's top priority. So I will have a little bit less time for these side projects, but overall my life will improve. You know, it's much better that way. And that is also one of the reasons why I started building a team. If you haven't seen it, I've uploaded my recent video was about building a team for Tresor One. And this is also what will enable me a little bit to take some time off there and not hustle 24/7 on these projects and my day job. So I want to definitely recommend that. Look at your time, look at the 24 hours you have during the day, look at the consumption activities specifically and remove most of them for productive time if you want to start a side project, but don't put away social time, don't put away time for your physical health, and that gets your mind off the project every once in a while. And this can also be movies or whatever, but you know, not 3 or 4 hours a day. Especially social media, I think, is a good one to remove completely, the consumption part. I am on Twitter a little bit, but I basically uninstalled, for example, Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. from my phone completely. And on Twitter, I try to be productive. So when I'm on there, I try to tweet and engage with people and learn, and not just consume. Same on YouTube. I try to not watch a lot of YouTube videos. I try to make them. So I'm trying to be productive instead of consuming. I can definitely recommend that. Other than that, stay healthy, go outside, enjoy the sun. I see you in the next video. Hope it was helpful. If it was, you know the drill. Support the channel a little bit with the likes and the subscribe and all that stuff. I see you in the next video. Have a good one. Peace.